JosefVStalin, and welcome to my second part of this little vlog here. And as you can see, the perspective has changed a little bit because about almost done this part. The camera thought it would be funny if it ran out of batteries, so I got to plug into the charger, and the charger is incredibly short. So I had to refocus the camera, refocus my shift. I'm actually sitting on the floor with both knees on the floor. So we've gone from ghetto to extremely ghetto. Anyway, let's talk about E3. That's bullshit a little bit, guys. And in all honesty, I haven't seen the Sony show yet. I don't own a PlayStation 3. I own a 360 and a Wii, so I doubt I'll be actually checking out the Sony conference because there's really no point for me to do something like that when I'm not going to be owning any of the games that they're going to talk about anytime soon. So let's kick it off. Let's talk about Microsoft for a little bit. And all in all, I found, except for there was a couple major standouts. Microsoft the conference was nothing really exciting. It was all just kind of blah. All the kind of stuff I expected to see, and was generally unimpressed with what I saw. Things like Halo ODST and Modern Warfare 2 were all just kind of meh to me. But there were two standouts which I'd like to highlight. One is Splinter Cell Conviction. I thought that game looked really cool, really interesting, because I enjoyed the first two Splinter Cells, but for some reason that whole kind of secret ops, fighting anti-terrorist, all that American BS was it's not my thing. And just using the whole kind of crazy gadgets is not my thing either. Me and crazy gadgets don't mix. I guess I'm just an old timer. Maybe that's why me and Modern Warfare don't mix. I like the feel of the old school, like I think the thing like the Thompson and the MP40 is it feels far better than any modern weapon ever could, at least in my opinion. But I really like what the new direction they're taking with this game. Sort of that Sam Fisher is now just this brutal killing machine who's looking to find out who killed his daughter just out of revenge. And if you haven't seen the gameplay demo, you should. It starts off with him beating the crap out of some guy in a washroom, and then it ends with him infiltrating a mansion. And all the gameplay and all the kills and execution styles just look incredibly brutal. And I was especially surprised at how fluid the gameplay looked, because they have a new feature. It's called Mark and Execute, which you mark a whole bunch of enemies around, and you basically press a button, and he executes them all. Arguably, that could take out some of the challenge, I guess. Maybe I don't understand this feature fully yet, but I guess no one except the developers really do, because none of us have played it. But just the way he executed everyone looked extremely brutal, extremely fluid, and extremely exhilarating to watch. So I really like what they're doing with this. I also like that he's just a guy on his own. He doesn't have this secret ops organization backing him up. He has to use what he can find, not what he's given. That's also really cool in my opinion. The other standout from the Microsoft conference was Alan Wake. I'm a huge survival horror fan. I don't think I've ever really expressed that on a Let's Play, but I love my survival horror games. And I thought that concepts were really cool that they were using to drive this game, like the whole using the light as kind of a weapon, sort of, to ward off enemies and force them off. I thought that was really interesting. Like there's one point where in the gameplay demo he was running and he had a flare in his hand and he dropped it on the ground, and that stopped all the enemies from coming in the room because they couldn't get past that light. I thought that kind of stuff was really cool, but it's really hard to gauge what that game is going to be all about, especially from a 5-minute gameplay demo, especially with a game like that that's supposed to be based on atmosphere, story, and mood. You really can't convey that on a big stage in front of everybody. But I'm definitely going to be checking out those two games as time goes on. Those are the two Xbox exclusives that I'm looking forward to. But let's talk about the big unveil from Microsoft, which was the Natal camera, which or Project Natal or whatever they called it, which is basically sort of it's like a webcam, and it measures how close you are, how fast you're moving, all in this supposedly seamless one-to-one style. and then they showed off like a sizzle reel of this perfect family surrounded by this camera doing things like racing with no wheel, or skateboarding with no skateboard, or like some like 8-year-old was beating up an old Asian man, and just like and the stuff that I'm not really don't really give a crap about. I don't think anyone who would consider themselves a gamer really gives a crap about. Like I want to see what they're gonna do with this project, with a hard, epic adventure, not these like worthless like tech demos. I want to see them really apply this technology, and in that case, Microsoft failed to really push that advantage that they had with this new interesting technology onto the crowd that was there. The crowd of like jaded game press journalists and whatnot. But I will buy that camera for one thing, and that is Project Milo, or whatever they're calling it. And if you don't know, it's essentially a AI boy that lives in this world, and you can interact with him by talking, and he knows your emotions, and he can see you, and he knows where your hands are, and if you draw him a picture, it like scans it and sends it to him. And I'm excited about this because I'm pretty sure everyone is thinking this, that I want to go to Milo and I want to tell him he's a unloved orphan and everybody hates him and he's generally a miserable human being that will never accomplish anything in his life, and then draw him pictures of penises and send them over to his world. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, that's what everybody's thinking, because in the words of Yahtzee, gamers are dicks. So that's what we're all excited about. But that aside, let's talk about Nintendo. And now that Microsoft has this motion controller, Nintendo, do I think Nintendo's shaking in the boots? Not really, no. And I think, all told, I will probably prefer playing with the Wiimote because it is a traditional controller. And with the Wiimote, you still have this physical link to the world, which I think this camera lacks. There's nothing there to connect you and that space, that world. With the Wiimote, there's that Wiimote, and it's solid and it's concrete, and it gives you that connection that this Project Natal lacks. But from Nintendo, lots of casual blast stuff like Wii Fit Plus, and sorry, Wii Fit Plus, and like this Wii Vitality sensor. Toss that aside, new Super Mario Bros. Wii. I'm excited for it. I don't think you can go wrong with Super Mario Bros. 4-player. I think that's a fantastic idea. Thumbs up. Super Mario Galaxy 2, hugely excited for. Loved the first one, and I love Mario because it encases why we're gamers. What's so great about gaming? Because with a gamer, when you game to have fun, and you game to do what you can't do in real life. And Mario is essentially those two aspects. It's pure fun, and it's so surreal and so incredible. It's nothing you could like experience in real life. So Super Mario Galaxy 2, hugely excited for. Also, at the end, they unveiled the new Metroid, which is being conducted by Team Ninja plus Nintendo. And if you don't know, Team Ninja is famous for the Ninja Gaiden series. And it's famous for really white-knuckle action with time button presses and just ridiculous like combos going on the screen and limbs flying everywhere. So that's what Ninja Gaiden sort of means to me. I haven't played it that much, but it also means a horrendously convoluted storyline. But other than that, I really am excited to see what they're going to do with the Metroid franchise. The trailer kind of looked sort of in that Ninja Gaiden style, where you're doing these like impressive combos on screen, and she's like running up to enemies and blasting them in the face and throwing them around. Really excited to what they're gonna do. Not so impressed by the art style. Animation looked incredible. The art style, not so much. But it's tough to gauge what the game's gonna be just on the trailer. But nonetheless, I'm hugely excited for it. And I just want to talk really briefly about another game I'm excited for, and that is Silent Hill: Shattered Memories on the Wii, which really looks like it's going to be sort of an awesome survival horror game. Because I really like the survival horror where you're like facing off against 3 zombies and you have nothing but a gun with 1 bullet and a wiffle bat, and you're like, how the fuck I'm going to do this? And it just scares you shitless when you're staring down these enemies that are coming at you. And just everything when I was watching the gameplay, like the mood, the atmosphere, the lighting looked incredible. And you really have to go watch this to see why I'm so impressed by this game, and I really think you guys should watch that. Watch the Silent Hill gameplay demo they have on IGN. And if you're a fan of survival horror, I think you'll be really impressed with what they're delivering. But I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to ask you guys. I'm going to give you guys a question. What did you think of E3? What are your game of the show? What was your game of the show? Yeah, game of the show. And who do you think is going to come on top at the end of this? At the end of 2009, is it going to be Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo? Even though I don't really condone these fanboyish behaviors, E3 is an exception. E3 brings out the fanboy in all of this. But thank you guys for watching. This is JosefVStalin signing off, and I'll see you guys later.